Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Thursday, June 8th, 2023. Stand up for your country. Did you see the press conference today, Biden and the Prime Minister of Great Britain? If you did, it was the most boring press conference I've ever seen in my life. And there's one soundbite I'm going to play for you a little bit later on, which epitomizes the Biden administration. But I was just stunned on how dull that thing was. But that's not what we're going to lead with tonight. We're going to lead with Donald Trump continues to loom large over the USA. And that's about to get even more intense, and that is the subject of the Talking Points memo. So if you've heard all week, there will be a Trump indictment about him taking top secret documents from Washington down to his residence in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. All right, so I reported this on Tuesday. I think I was the first one to break it, that it was a fait accompli. I don't know when exactly it's going to happen, but Donald Trump and his lawyers know it's inevitable. Now, there are two grand juries, so it's a little complicated. One is in D.C., all right, and one is in Miami. But I would assume the grand jury in Miami is hearing most of the Mar-a-Lago stuff. If Donald Trump is indicted, I say if, I believe he will be, but anything's possible. He will probably have to go down to Miami at some point. The Justice Department will dictate. He's not going to be put in cuffs. It's not going to be a perp walk. Not going to be any of that. All right, but it's a serious situation for a former president to be up against this. Now, Trump himself, as we reported yesterday, the strategy is to attack the special counsel, Jack Smith, okay? And overnight, here's what Donald Trump put out on social media, quote, a top overzealous and dishonest DOJ prosecutor, that's Smith, offered a witness lawyer an important judgeship in the Biden administration if his client flips on President Trump, who has done nothing wrong. The highly respected lawyer was incensed and disgusted at this corrupt and illegal offer, unquote. So this is an accusation, obviously a serious one, coming from former President Trump against the special prosecutor. Nobody knows, all right, about specifics in this case, but a couple of things are very apparent. There are two courts, the federal court, and in my opinion, they are after Trump. Okay, they're after him. And then there's a court of public opinion. Those are the folks who will decide who the next president's going to be. All right? So Donald Trump will benefit if these federal charges are flimsy. But he'll get hurt if the Justice Department can produce evidence that both you and I can see and is damning. Okay, now I don't know what that might be, but it's either or on that. If it's Alvin Bragg, Stormy Daniels, Trump will just rocket in the polls. It will assure him of the Republican nomination. If it's more than that, then we have to, as fair-minded people, examine what's being put forth. Now, here's what I said on News Nation with Chris Cuomo last night. Go. Because I know Donald Trump as well as anybody knows him. There's nothing in it for him. He's always self-motivated. Donald Trump is always self-motivated. Whatever he does is to advance his own cause in life. I wrote a book on it, The United States of Trump. I mean, he doesn't do anything in a vacuum. So for me, that is a key here. Why would he take knowingly classified documents to Florida? For what reason? Didn't need to do that in any way, shape, or form. Now, I understand maybe he didn't want to cooperate with the Justice Department, okay, but the initial act of moving the stuff physically out of Washington, it's not like Trump would sit in a chair and go over this stuff in a box. That would never happen in a million years. So that's my problem here. What motivated him if he did this? Because there's nothing in it for him but grief. It's just a valid question. I cannot answer that, okay? So, what about the special prosecutor investigating Joe Biden's illegal removing of classified documents as vice president? Have you heard anything about that? I have not. Now, this man, Robert Hur, like Ben, H-U-R, was appointed on January 12, 2023, this year. Have you heard one word about this guy or what he's doing? I haven't. Okay, most people don't even know he exists. This is the press in America. So where is this? Where is he? Can we get an update of some kind? Doesn't take a lot to examine documents in a garage taken by a vice president. What is that? It's June. I mean, you could do that 1,000 times in this period of time. But we don't know anything about that. Nothing. But there is a special counsel looking into Joe Biden. And remember, a president is allowed possession of classified documents. A vice president is not. Okay? But when the National Archives asks the president to return those documents, under the law, he has to return the documents to the National Archives. Okay, are we there? Do we all understand this? I hope we do. It's not a good story for this country. And that's a memo. Okay, the House Oversight Committee has canceled its contempt order against FBI Chief Christopher Wray because Wray folded. He's now going to let everybody on the Oversight Committee see the allegations by the whistleblower that Joe Biden took bribes. In his press conference today, that I'll get to in a moment, Biden said the whole thing is, quote, malarkey. All right, what do you expect him to say? Yeah, I took bribes. Come on. Okay, so malarkey or not, the American people have a right to know if the FBI is actually investigating this or not, right? So Wray got pushed right up to the cliff before he folded. What does that tell you? Now, this agreement was made late yesterday, Wednesday. It's now Thursday. So anyway, I'm on this very closely. And I can tell you that Biden, the conversation inside the White House that nobody's privy to, is that Biden says, hey, if I took $5 million in bribes, and that's the number being bandied around, where's the money? I don't know, but that's what Biden's saying, so you know. All right, so there was a press conference today. Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of Great Britain. He looks like a decent guy. I mean, I don't know him. And they were up there answering questions about artificial intelligence and the economy and Ukraine. But it was boring. I can't even tell you how boring it was. I was nodding out. It was 45 minutes late. That's Biden's schedule. He's always late, always. Okay, and then when it got underway, I got one soundbite for you.
It's wrong that the violence and hate crimes targeting LGBTQ people is rising. It's wrong that extreme officials are pushing hateful bills targeting transgender children, terrifying families, and criminalizing doctors. These are our kids. These are our neighbors. It's cruel and it's callous.
So the Biden administration has made the gay community, the trans community, a central issue. That conservatives are evil, DeSantis is evil, if they don't fully accept the teaching of 6- and 7-year-olds about gender issues, to use a cliche. That's what this is all about. My message of the day is about me teaching high school, protecting gay kids in that high school. It's on BillO'Reilly.com. I hope you read it. All right? But this has nothing to do with the trans indoctrination. Nothing. But the Biden administration sets up what they call straw men. Straw, S-T-R-A-W. and that Biden is the protector of all minorities. Joe Biden is the most radical left president by far in U.S. history. He leaves Barack Obama in the dust. Biden says that women's rights are under assault if you and me don't support abortion on demand for any reason, up until 2 minutes before birth. That's what Biden asserts, that we are persecuting women if we want any restrictions on abortion. Now he's saying that the gay community is being terrorized in a cruel way by conservatives and Republicans. It is true that gays and blacks and other minorities in this country have a harder time of it. But persecution, I don't see it. There's gay days now everywhere. This is gay month, June. Okay? In fact, the people who are persecuting are the militant gays, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They're the persecutors. There are always going to be hate crimes. Okay? Always. And that's why we have federal legislation against them. But Biden sets up a phony, far left, if you don't want militancy, if you don't want your 7-year-old to be subjected to indoctrination about homosexuality and trans issues, if you oppose that, you're a bigot and a hater. And Biden's going to get you. That's what it's about. Polarizing the country. Well, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. Nobody knows about this more than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do the work and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Even those businesses who took PPP loans can qualify. Nonprofits and churches as well. So let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. All right, let's get to the mail. Dave Wolf, Carmichael, California. When CNN first debuted under the ownership of Ted Turner, weren't they just a straight 24-hour news service? I'm asking if you know when both CNN and other networks started their collective left-wing narrative, when Fox News became successful. All of these people saw how much money Fox News made by having opinion in prime time. Hello, that's me. Okay? So when CNN saw that, and we were kicking Larry King's butt, Larry King was a big ratings getter for them. I beat him, I think it was 2 years it took me to beat him because we didn't have the distribution, but I crushed him. When they saw that, they go, oh, okay, Fox News is conservative, we'll go liberal. That's when it turned. Good question, Dave. Mark from West Virginia. I have to agree with you on the CNN boss being fired because he gave Trump airtime, O'Reilly. The underlying issue is freedom of speech. I've said many times that the progressive left is a well-oiled machine, vicious and relentless. Their intention is to silence dissenters. Absolutely. Totalitarian left does not want any dissent. Bob Walker, Bentonville, Arkansas. Your Talking Points memo on Wednesday was correct. No spin. The far left hit squad is very coordinated. However, I think for the first time, the right may have been coordinated in bringing down Anheuser-Busch and Target. No, that wasn't folks. That wasn't a coordinated campaign. That was just the folks hearing about it and going, no, I'm not going to do it. John, Bill, you inform your viewers that the far left media cabal mobilized in a well-coordinated manner to assassinate Chris Licht per Saul Alinsky's playbook. Do we know who the coordinator is? Interesting question, John. The New York Times is the main nexus, but they don't order people or suggest. It's just that everybody goes in to see what they're putting out. All right? There are people in D.C. that coordinate the messaging. They're on K Street. I've mentioned a few of their, but they change a lot. And since I've been exposing them, they've really gone underground. Comes out of D.C., the messaging. Phil Morganello, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. If a candidate is completely serious about winning the president's nomination, they'll have to sling mud. When Trump is indicted, do you believe that all the candidates will pile on him? No. And I'll tell you why. Any Republican candidate has to get the MAGA vote to win. If Trump's not in the race, they can't assassinate Trump because the MAGA people won't vote for them. So I don't believe there'll be a pile on. Janet, concierge member. Thank you, Janet. You have any travel questions, Janet? I'm here for you. Mike Pence hasn't got a chance in hell. No Trump supporter would support Pence. That might be a mistake. Pence did the right thing under the Constitution in the January 6th situation. And he could run the country, in my opinion. Charles, the premium subscription to BillO'Reilly.com has been a great investment for me. Your report on the Biden administration's claim that illegal entry was down 70% by migrants was a great example of the value you provide. Just a real cap. The government saying the migrant intrusions are down 70%, but they're not telling you that they're waving people in who apply for asylum on the internet, tens of thousands every day, because that's not an encounter. And that's what we report and no one else does. Mary Jane, concierge member. I've seen people texting in cars while the wheels are rolling. Bad enough when you're texting while stopped at a light. Can't tell you how many times I had to toot my horn because the person in front of me did not see the light change. Yeah, we all know. Very dangerous, no doubt about it. Mark Jagger, Barnegat, New Jersey. Just received my Team Normal polo shirt. I love it. I'm going to order 2 more, white, for my wife and myself. Team Normal gear. You'll love it this summer. BillO'Reilly.com store has it. Okay? Sandra McFarland, so far I've read Killing Legends, Killing Lincoln, Killing Kennedy, Killing the Rising Sun, now Killing Patton. What great books. Thank you. You're welcome. Killing the Witches. Next one up. It's the 13th in the Killing series, out September 26th. Okay, let's get to the final thought. And Killing the Legends still selling very well, by the way. That's the one out now. So Father's Day, go to BillO'Reilly.com store, get Dad great gifts. We have discounts on the Killing books, tremendous discounts on them. Go there, please. And word of the day, do not be a quid nunc. Quidnunc. Weird word, quid nunc. Back with the final thought in a moment. You are probably paying too much for your Medicare supplement, especially if your plan is through the liberal AARP. Folks, there is an alternative, AMAC. Their Medicare advisory service is the gold standard of quality. They offer plans from dozens of insurers, and you'll get the right plan at an affordable price without all the woke nonsense. The licensed, experienced advisors at AMAC are dedicated to answering your Medicare questions, explaining your options, and helping you choose a plan that suits your health needs and your budget. But what really makes them special is their values, faith, family, and freedom. Don't get caught up in the confusion of Medicare. Your consultation with a knowledgeable AMAC advisor is free of any financial commitment or leftist agenda. So you can visit them today, and I hope you do, amac.com/US/trust. That's amac.us/TRUST trust. So next week, I will not be here. I'll be in Ireland, in Donegal, the only county I have not visited on that island. Okay? It's a father-son's trip. I got 6 fathers and their urchins or, something like that. We're all going. I'm using my guys, Conn's Ireland. Con is C-O-N-N. I always use them. They're the best. We're going up to Donegal. Then we're going to Belfast. Going to show everybody where I was reporting the troubles. Then we're going down to the Marriott Hotel. I always stay there in Dublin. It's a great 7-day trip. But I will every day do a journal on the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com, where I am, what I'm doing. So that's for everybody. You don't have to be a premium or anything like that. Just go to BillO'Reilly.com every morning, bang, it'll be there. Okay? And then I'm, checking in. Anything big happens, and you're going to see I'll be tweeting because my staff and I are going to be in contact all the time. I can never really go on a vacation. Always have to be involved in the news flow, but that's okay. But anyway, why do I like my 10th time in Ireland? Because the legacy and your legacy, my legacy and your legacy, you ought to know where you came from, how you got here. It's important for my family and my kids to know, and they know. I mean, the O'Reilly family got booted off their farm in County Cavan by the Crown. The English Crown stole the land, okay? And 2 16-year-old boys put on a death ship in Galway. Death ship means they had to throw the people who died on a ship into the ocean. And they landed in Brooklyn by themselves. Okay? What a story. And I should be angry with London. I mean, that's a grievance, of course. But I'm 92% Irish, according to the PBS show Finding Your Roots. I'm very proud of that. You should be proud of your ethnicity, no matter what you are. And find out about it as much as you can about it. It's fascinating. So we're going to Ireland. I will complete my seeing it all there. We're going to have a great time. Love those Irish breakfasts. And I will report every day about what we're doing. Thank you for watching and listening the No Spin News. And by the way, we'll have all kinds of special stuff so you can watch and listen. My staff has put together great specials each night next week that are going to be very entertaining and informative. We'll see you on the 19th of June. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.